Hi, I'm Bruce from Bruce Fixes Stuff, and on today's episode, we are going to do something really crappy. We're going to fix a toilet. I've been putting this off long enough for obvious reasons, but what we have to do is take this toilet off and find out why it's not flushing properly. Because, well, let's just call it waste goes down, but the water level doesn't. And it makes no sense to me why more solid things can go through, but the water level stays full. The water level does not go down. So it's kind of bizarre. I've been plunging this thing and it just doesn't work. So we're going to take the toilet off and figure out what's wrong, and I'll walk you through that process. So without further ado, let's get on it. Here's a job I've been putting off, and I can't put it off any longer. The toilet will not flush, even plunging it. I've been plunging it for 2 days. Can't get it to flush properly. Everything except water went down. But the water wasn't going down. It was the weirdest thing. So, since it's not working with the plunger, I'm going to take it off, which means shutting off the water, which I've already done, and draining the tank by flushing it and plunging out as much as I could. Then the next step is to undo these two nuts. There's one on each side. And then I've got to disconnect that hose there. And then the toilet should just lift off. And then we get into trying to probably snake the drain. So much fun. First thing I'm going to do before I get into that is take these mats out of here so I'm not getting them all covered in whatever might come out of there. You notice my spare roll holder? It's an old axle out of an old car. I like to be different. To shut off the water, you just turn this way to clockwise to shut the water off, counterclockwise to turn it back on. This fitting up here you can undo by hand usually. And so righty tighty, lefty loosey. And I got a little container to put underneath, just in case any water does drip out. And I'm going to aim that hose down into that bucket, just to catch anything that might come out. Now down here, there's a bolt on each side. That has, or a nut, I should say, that has to be undone. Helps if you get the right size wrench. In this case it's a 7/16, which is very closely equal to 11 millimeter. I haven't seen a bolt yet that won't take both. Like if it'll take an 11 millimeter, you can do it with a 7/16. If it'll take a 7/16, you can do it with an 11 mil. Either way. And you go to the other side and do the same thing. And now there's nothing holding this toilet in except for willpower. So now you simply grab it and lift it straight up, and hopefully there won't be too much falling out underneath. So I just need to get it up and out of the way. I'm gonna grab it back here. And I have spilled some, but I can mop that up later. Completely run the snake thing right through the toilet and out the top end, and I can run it back and forth like I'm flossing the thing. There is no restriction at all in there. There's nothing stopping that. And going down the drain, I've got the same situation.
If there's no blockage, why is the water not going through? This I don't get. I guess all I can do is put new wax ring on there and put the toilet back on and figure it out. But I did notice that this, which was glued into the ground, into the floor, is buckled up here and buckled up here. So that's not going to hold anything tight like it should. I think I've got another one of these. And if I do, I should be able to change that. This wide hole here should be like this. It's widened because this is wiggling around in here and pulling on it. So that's not good. That's got to be tightened. So that's got to be replaced before I go any farther. And then we'll figure it out from there. Now the old ring like this is not coming out very well. It's been cemented into place. I guess because they didn't want to bother drilling holes into the cement and using cement screws. So they've just cemented it in, probably when they did the tiles. And now it doesn't want to come out. So I'm basically breaking it apart, trying to chip it out. I'm getting in behind it like this with the screwdriver and prying and just trying to break out little bits at a time until I get it apart. There's some of what I've taken out so far. This is not a fun job. Now when I put this ring on, there are bolts somewhere. That's not them. There are bolts that will come up through these grooves to fit into the toilet, so that they've got to be opposite like this so they can bolt up through the toilet. So we know that this is a good position for this to be in. So yeah, perfect. Beautiful. So now I've got to make some holes. Now, as you can probably tell, that's the hammer setting. If you have a hammer drill, and you have a setting like regular drill or a hammer, if you have it on the hammer drill, it actually kind of bangs it in as it goes, and it helps make the hole a lot quicker. To demonstrate that, I'm going to put it on the regular drill and do the next hole. But first, I'm going to stick a screw in this hole just to kind of hold it in place. Even if it's only in a little bit, it's just to hold it in place for now. So now I'm going to drill this hole on the regular drill. Doesn't go in very well at all. But watch when I switch it over to hammer. Watch how quickly it'll go in. Okay, so the hammer drill is very important when you're drilling into cement. Now I'm going to go around and make all the holes, and then I'll come back and finish them. Now, I want these to be a little deeper because I want the screw to be able to go all the way in and not bottom out. So I'm going to go around and just, now that I've got the holes here, I'm going to make them a bit deeper. So now it won't bottom out when I put the screws in. Now, over here I have a bumped out part of the tile that'll have to be cut out. There's another one here. This is actually the cement. I think that's cement too. These couple little notches have to be cut out so I can make this smooth, so that this new ring can sit down in here tight and flush,
and sit properly. Now, because I had to cut out the old ring, which is here in a million pieces, because these parts were destroyed, I've got to find something that can go down inside this, because any part that I can buy over here is the same size as this. So I'm going to have to smooth that out, probably, or possibly. But this toilet seal, is something that will go down into that hole. So anything going through will go into that. And if I put this on top of it and have it mounted down flush, this is the old wax seal, but when I put that on, that'll go down inside it too, and everything will go in, and I shouldn't have any problem with anything not being where it's supposed to be. Technically not maybe a proper way, but it should still work. We'll see. But right now, I've got to take this and this out and take the grinder with the masonry bit and cut down these so that I got a flush spot for this ring. That's my next step. So now what I've done is I've placed that rubber gasket inside with the sleeve that goes down inside the main pipe. It goes down about 3/4 of an inch into the pipe. Now I just got to tighten all these screws. Now I've got the rubber seal in, made sure it's gone down inside the pipe really well. I've got this plate screwed on. These special kinds of screws, bolts, whatever, go in here and hold into place. The nut and this other part go up above, and one on each side like this, and they are what holds the toilet into place once you've got the toilet on. Okay. So what we do now is we take these nuts off and leave the bolt in place. Take the nut off of this side, same idea. Put the bolt in place. Now, the seal, this is the old one, but just for practice positioning, that will go in there fine and goes down so that this part of the sleeve is inside here, which is good. We've got a new one of these. I like the double thickness ones. Is it necessary? Probably not. But is it nice to have? Sure. I'd rather have a little bit extra seal than not enough. So that makes sure that that goes down inside that hole. And that's positioned properly. So now when I put the toilet on, it should go onto these spots, and then we can put the rest of the hardware on. But now I've got to clear out all the mess that I've got sitting in the way. All my tools and stuff that I've got sitting in the way. So I got to clear that out, then we'll get the toilet back in place. Now that went a little easier than I expected. And we got that thing all lined up. Nice. Now then this goes down, and then this goes, and then the nut. And I had wrenches. Do I have the right wrenches? Somewhere I had wrenches. Here, wrenchy. Come on. Now I can find everything I need except for the one I need. Everything except for the one I want, right? But anyway, that's the idea. That goes in there like this and tightens up. And I'll do the same on the other side. Now that I've got the right wrench,
I can tighten these up. And you want to go good and tight so that the toilet doesn't move. But at the same time, you don't want to go so tight that you crack the actual base. Which I don't think I did there. I think that noise was just the plastic. And we don't want it to wiggle. You'll notice I'm holding the wrench really close in. I'm not holding it back here where I got lots of leverage. I'm holding it right in here so I don't have much leverage. So I'm not at the risk of tightening it too much. And that might have to be retightened a bit after it's been sat on for a while, but now these plates, these plastic pieces clip over them just like that, and that covers the hole. Same on the other side. And then it's just a matter of putting the seat on it and putting the hose on and turning the water on. Now connecting the water is just as easy as it was to disconnect the water. You just put this back on. And since I haven't done anything that would affect where the tank meets the toilet itself, I can turn the water on now. And that should fill. And while we're waiting for that, I can put the toilet seat back on. See if it works. And now we're going to test it and see if it flushes properly. What we don't want is water gushing out on the edge. That's what it wasn't doing before, and it is now, so I'd call this a success. A lot of work, but a success.
And that, my friends, is how you fix a toilet. So if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. And if you do, you'll be notified when new videos come out. We have all kinds of videos on this channel, from home repairs and things like we just did, to renovation projects and building things, furniture and whatever, car repairs, car restoration projects, including some classics that I'm working on. So please leave comments. Let me know what you think, what you like. And if you've got anything that you want to see, put it in the comments and I'll do my best to make a video for you. Okay? Until next time, this is Bruce from Bruce Fixes Stuff.